we were talking about our student loans and stuff like that, because I asked Mark, basically, there was like a live crab truck in front of us, and I was like, if somebody would say, I'll pay you $10 million to go inside that truck with the live crabs, would you do it? And Mark was like, hell yeah, put me in there for 5
I said, absolutely. I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm doing it for the fam. I know I'll probably be crying in pain, and I'll be bleeding everywhere and have pinch marks all over my body. But for 10 million, put me in that truck with crabs, shut the door, and don't say nothing to nobody. No matter how loud I scream, no matter how much I'm begging to get out, pinch me to death and let me literally bleed and show pain is love for my family, okay? Because I will do it. I will sacrifice myself to get 10 million to be pinched by crabs as much as possible. Well, hopefully not as much as possible, but whatever it takes for 5-10 minutes, whatever, in order to get that. That's cool.
Yeah, and then I was like, shoot, you're gonna help me pay off my student loans, because my student loans are never gonna get paid off. So then we went to a topic that at work, one of the clients told Mark this.
So I'm working at a job where I'm doing debt settlement. Okay, I definitely, I used to work at a job helping people get out of debt. I enjoyed it. I like knowing that I'm providing a service that's genuinely helping people. I mean, in this country, debt is obviously a huge problem. So I like being in the industry because I'm able to educate people and motivate them to get them out of debt. So this job, this client, I should say, potential client that I was talking to was a pastor. And the pastor, the first thing you have to do is you talk about the creditors. So we go over the creditors. I forget how much he owed, but it was definitely way more than the minimum $10,000 we need for the program. So he tells me the creditors, then I have to do a budget analysis, just basically knowing his financial situation. I remember the guy telling me, the pastor was like, I make $6,500 or something like net a month. And then he starts going over his expenses. He has 2 car notes that he was paying, mad bread on. So anyway, once we get through the budget analysis, go through all that information, I'm like, okay, you seem like a good candidate for the program. And this pastor was saying, yeah, I would love to get out of this debt faster. So even though I'm closing my own deals, there's a gentleman that came down from the law firm, which is another state that does the debt settlement. He came down to help with training and to help, everybody. Even though I'm one of the people there, I'm the person there at this job currently that has the most experience dealing with debt. So even though I'm closing my own deals, everybody has to turn their calls over to this gentleman that came down from another state to train. So he gets on the phone. When he gets on the phone, he starts telling him about the program more in detail, blah, blah, blah. So once he gets to talking, with the pastor about one of the accounts that are big, he starts telling him, how much we're going to save him and how much quicker he's going to get out of debt. And then the pastor's like, oh, no, but you know what? The thing is, though, I don't mind that particular account because I'm going to just leave that debt to my kids. And then I was like, after the gentleman got off the phone that was talking to the potential client, and he was telling me, oh yeah, that guy's a pastor, that guy's a scumbag, because what kind of person says with no problem, yeah, that's all right, then I'm gonna have that debt, because even if I pass away, my kids are gonna be left with that debt. I personally don't want to leave, God willing, any kind of debt to any of my kids. That's something that if you're a good parent, you definitely do not want to leave your kids in a position where they're going to be responsible for debt that you accumulated. That's definitely wrong in my opinion. So I thought, wow, like what a terrible example if you're calling yourself a pastor to say that, to pass along debt to your children. Stop paying on 2 car notes and think about actually, saving money so that you could not leave your kids with that kind of debt, because that's ridiculous. I couldn't believe that he said it to that guy. So I was glad he didn't become a client, because I wouldn't want to help somebody that has that kind of mentality anyway. I want to help people that are, people that really are good people, that recognize getting out of debt is important, and that, creating that sense of urgency so that they don't have to leave anybody with a situation where they're left with debt, because you don't want to wish that upon nobody if you're a good person.
Yeah. So please comment about that down below. What do you guys think about that? A pastor leaving his debt for his...
You know what kind of pastor that is? That's that pastor play. That's that PTP pastor, y'all. Okay? That's that pastor play pastor. okay? That's like, yeah, pass the plate amongst church every single time you're in church. Pass that plate, pass that plate. You know what you're doing? You're not getting money for the church. You know what you're doing? You're paying off that boy's Benz. You're paying off that man's Beamer. You know what I'm saying? Like, those kind of pastors, those are bad examples, and they give bad reps to people that are good pastors, are good people, are genuine people, godly people that really, you know, are looking out for the betterment of the people in the church and are concerned about, you know, blowing up their pockets and getting as much money as possible as they can for what it is that they do. Because if you're a godly person, you're not going to want to leave debt for anybody, you know, especially your kids. So that's that pass the plate pastor. Watch out for those kind of people. Those are shady individuals, man. Oh, we got
someone in the lobby.
I was gonna say.
Hey, you gotta turn that around. You're gonna get water. The water's up there. Down.
Oh, that's nice though. Look at the little TV.
I know.
Yeah, get all that so we can remember.
Internet install, please fill out this.
I like that.
Yeah, they said that they're redoing all the streets in here, and it's gonna take a few months. So.
Yeah, they're repaving everything.
Thank you. Oh, they were in this another minister? There's another realtor. Yeah.
See the screen on the bottom, not on the top of it.
is why you want the screen. See these? The little beads.
Beads?
You know, we had dead.
Woo!
Apparently they must have flown in.
They need the.
Yeah, but yeah, we can ask them to put the screen in, but basically, Home Depot sells the screen.